Alright, welcome to part 4. In the first 3 parts we learned to create a new binder, library, create a new builder, new binder, called it example binder. We made a primary file listing, and we had all file listings over here. We saved that under a workspace called primary workspace. There we created a builder, then we turned that builder into a chapter. Then we created a checklist, and we turned that checklist into a builder. We can take that builder and turn it into a chapter 2. A chapter is basically everything in one document. Okay? So that's a listings file and a builder file, a chapter file, and a checklist file. Those are the 4 main types of story functions that one can use in Liquid Story Binder. There are a bunch of other ones, but we're going to look at one in specific. First thing we do is we get an idea of it by looking at our primary file listings. Okay, let's go right here and insert underneath that. Let's just insert a title. Let's call this First Files. All right, and these are the first files in our primary file listings. So let's take example builder and let's push it over here. And under first files, it becomes a subset of first files, and it becomes collapsible. Right? We could also click here, hold down Shift, go to the bottom, click, and set all of these as subsets of first files, thereby making them into a collapsible listing. Okay? So we could have first files here, or we could whatever, we can have chapters here and just have chapters listed under here. And it all becomes collapsible if we want to collapse it and make another title and then save stuff underneath that. Okay? Now, this is very much like outlining. And there's only one difference, and it's a cool difference. So let's go down here to Example Checklist Builder, and we're going to create something underneath it. We're going to create an outliner. So create a new outliner. Right? We'll call this Example Outliner. Okay, we click OK. We get an outliner window over here, and we get an outliner window in our primary file listings. Naturally, as always, we click Save. Bingo. Right? Now, as we can see, the primary file listing outliner window is very much the same. Almost identical. Right? So here we have our outliner, and what's the difference between it and a checklist? Well, we only have the title line. We don't have any description line, so it's a one-line entry thing. All right. So let's say that we're outlining something, or we're just creatively very hot, and so we go here. First idea. Aha. And the thing about a checklist or a outliner is just enter and type, and so on. And so on, and so on, and so on about idea 1. Whoops. About idea 1. Right? And once again, we can go here, take all these ideas about idea 1, click, press Shift, click, and then set them inside of idea 1, and they become a subset of that idea. Alright? We can get down here, let's say idea 2. Alright? And then we can take this, unindent it, and then rock on. And so on, 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 jotting down our ideas in really rapid order. Once again, go here, here. We can subset these things under idea number 2. We can come down here to idea number 3. Oops, number 3. Oh, great. And then we set this back out, and so on 3. So on 3, and so on 3, etc., 3. Very, very fast way to take single line notes. Okay? And if this window's not big enough for you, you can always just open this puppy up big time, right? Taking notes in outline form. By taking those notes and then indenting them under a title. Yes? Now let's say we're going along and we get another idea about, this idea right here, this one right here. Okay, how about this? Oops. How about this? And like so. And like so. And how about this? No, wait, I think it's not spelled right. How about this, right? And we can take these ideas and make them a subset of that last idea. Truly being able to form collapsible outlines. Bing, bing, like so, right? Now, we have our idea collector that we can collect them in a checklist or we can collect them in an outline. With an outline, you can do subsets. Turn it into something very organized as opposed to a straight sequential list as in a checklist, right? So we'll save this out, and once again, just like with a checklist, the nice thing about working with an outliner is that we go to File, click, and Convert, and we can change it into a builder, right? So, example, outline, builder. Okay, we say OK, and it takes our outliner and turns it into a builder, where we have title and description over here, but there aren't any descriptions because there weren't any in the outliner, it didn't have room for them. But then here we can, expand our ideas in word processing. Right? Now, what we find is that, like here with first idea, we click here, what we find is that all of our subsets of that idea have been entered into the word processing area. Right? So it turns our outliner turns into a builder, gives us our title in the main tabs, and then in the word processing area gives us our subsets and our subtabs and our what we've written down there, right? Now, also, like we did with the checklist, we did not create this builder in our primary file listings window, so let's add it to it. Again, we go to Items, Add Files, and here's all these files. Well, it's a builder. Let's go down here and check a builder just to see our builder things. Okay, example outliner builder. Yes, let's do that. Let's add that to our primary file listings. Okay, and once again, that's so that anytime we want to, we need to see our things. For instance, our outliner, we just click on them from here. Our builder, we just click on it from here, right? And we can call them up from our primary file listing windows. And we could also call them up from here, but this lists everything and it's not really in a organized fashion. With the primary file listing window, we can create a title and then we can put subsets and keep our files here and keep them in an organized fashion, right? Pardon me. And so that's the 4 basic types of files that we can get some real work done using Liquid Story Minder. We have our listing file, we have our builder file, chapter file, checklist file, outliner file. And the checklist can be turned into a builder and the outliner can be turned into a builder. And then the builders, when we get all done with them, can be turned into a chapter, which is basically one document that holds everything. Okay? Now, there's one more part I want to go over with you on Liquid Story Minder just to kind of give you a solid start with it. And everything else you can pretty much play with and find out about it on your own. But there's one more part, so I hope you'll join me in part 5.